a lot of new people. I'm on staff actually with Athletes in Action. I was a track and cross country athlete here, graduated in '05. And I'm originally from Michigan, where Brian, my husband, is also from. We are high school sweethearts, so we have been married almost 6.5 years now, which is crazy. And these are my children, if you haven't figured that out yet, Hudson and Hadassah, who's almost 4 months now. So that's a little bit about who I am, but I wanted to share with you tonight a little bit about who I was and how I got to the place where I am on full-time staff as a missionary with Athletes in Action. So, and he might want to help me as well. So, for as long as I can remember, I knew of the faith and I knew about Jesus. I grew up going to a private elementary school where I attended church every week, and I was pretty involved in it. I remember as a young child like praying a lot and talking to Jesus, and felt like he was my companion, my friend. I had a rough upbringing with my parents being divorced, my mom having abusive alcoholic, well, not abusive that I know of, I guess, but he abused alcohol, and so having a rough upbringing a little bit, my sister, my mom, and I. But my faith, it was never really explained to me what it meant to be a Christ follower and to follow Jesus. I thought it was about me trying to please God in order to earn his favor and his love, and so that led to me really being driven by rules and religion and traditions. And so I was very legalistic, and meaning that I tried really hard to be as perfect as I could because I wanted to go to heaven and I wanted God to love me. And that filtered into all of my relationships. I was really judgmental and really condemning of people because I wanted them to live by the same set of values and morals that I had, so that they too would earn God's love and forgiveness. And so that all kind of started to switch around after I went on this retreat in 6th grade. So we left the private school. My mom actually got married to who I now consider my dad. He's my stepdad, Scott. And we transferred to public schools, and I got invited to a youth retreat with a friend. And it was there that Bruce Waldecker, he was like just a guy that was volunteering with the youth program, explained to me the true message of Jesus and what the Bible really teaches. And he explained to me Ephesians 2:8 and 9, where it said, "For it is by grace that you have been saved through faith, not by works, so that no one can boast." And he started explaining to me and showing me other verses where it talks about people choosing to receive God's love, and that people had a choice, and it wasn't about just following all the rules and earning God's love, that he loves everyone the same, and we can't earn his love anymore or lose his love. And I remember bawling when I heard this, because everything in my life, I mean, I was gonna be a nut. Like, I was sold out for this, like doing the right steps and doing the right things to make God love me. And so when I learned that people had to respond to him, and that wasn't just about my behavior, and it wasn't based on me, it was based on what Jesus already done for me. Yeah, I just remember as a little 6-year-old like crying, like, really, this is it? And from that time on, it was a slow, obviously, transition to being, seeing the effects of really inviting Jesus into my life and placing my trust in him and not in my obedience or in my actions. But I did start to see changes. My relationships with people became less, I became less judgmental of them and less condemning of them and more loving towards them. And I started to experience a new freedom, that I wasn't so bound by rules and religion so much as just to like live my life and experience God's love and try to share his love with other people. And so I got involved in my youth group and Bible studies. I met Brian, and he was raised in a really solid Christian home my junior year, and so we started growing together, and then came here to Wisconsin. And Brian went away to Wake Forest, and so as soon as I got here, I knew I needed to surround myself in a community of people that also wanted to keep growing their understanding of who Jesus was and what the gospel meant to them and how it affected their lives. And so I got involved with Primetime, Campus Crusade, but realized quickly that as an athlete I could not be involved with that. I couldn't do any of the fun stuff they were doing every weekend, and I felt left out all the time because I was always on the road with the team or practicing. So then second semester I found Athletes in Action, where I've met my best friends to this day, and I started getting discipled by an intern at the time. Her name was Beth Dixon. She actually wasn't even an athlete, but she was interning with us, and she sat down with me every week and helped me walk through college, helped me understand what it how to apply my faith to my sport, and how to do this long-distance relationship with this man I loved, and just really walked alongside of me. And so it was those times that I was meeting with her that I thought, man, so many of my friends, my teammates, they could use someone who could listen to them. Yeah, football. And that was when God started tugging on my heart, like, maybe this is something you can do for the rest of your life. Maybe you can be that person for these athletes, that you can come alongside of them. And so I did intern with Athletes in Action for a couple years. Then Brian interned, and then God put it on Brian's heart to join staff, and we joined staff in '09, and then went out to North Carolina for a couple years to get some training at Duke and UNC, and then we just got back here this year. And so that's a little bit of my story, but I want to be honest with you. Even though it was like back in 6th grade that I really understood it was about what Jesus did on the cross for me 2,000 years ago, like I couldn't earn anything more, I couldn't make him love me anymore. Just last week I was talking to my mentor on the phone, and I was telling her, man, I'm struggling with feeling guilty that I'm not doing enough for God. Like, I have 2 kids now, I can't be on campus as much as I used to, I can't share my faith as much as I used to, I can't disciple all these girls like I used to. And so I still struggle with trying to earn his love and his acceptance. Even though intellectually I know I have it, I still struggle with that because we're human and we still struggle and we still sin. And I think as athletes we struggle even more with that because we want to earn things, we want to compete, we want to perform. So, yeah, God's still working on me. I'm a work in progress. I always will be until I get to heaven. And so, yeah, that's a little bit about who I am. So thanks for letting me share. And now, I do want to bring up Brian. He's going to start us out for the semester on the fruit of the Spirit. So, yeah, I'll do the child swap and come on.